Hi, this is Khan from Ninja Pulls. You guys keep asking me for a Magicka Templar, so here we go. This one's for you. Here's the setup. It hits 125k and is fairly simple. It can be as static or dynamic as you want. You can push past 130 if you abandon the structure and optimize every cast, use heroism potions and nail the execute. That's a fun challenge, but it's also 50% more work for 4% more damage. Honestly, there's not much trickery involved. If you want to hit 125, here's how. Get the Maelstrom 2H. It doesn't have to be a greatsword or perfected, just get the set. It doesn't boost our execute, but it raises our pre-execute damage enough to be worth it. Maelstrom Inferno or Master's Bow also work. I tried both and really liked using the Master's Bow, but Merciless Charge is just stronger. The Urmage Mythic became standard for Templar last patch, which in turn increases the relative power of Deadly Strike. The drawback with this set has always been that it didn't buff light attacks or Power of the Light, two of our biggest sources of damage. With Urmage equipped, one of those drawbacks disappears. Pillar of Nirn, Siroria, Word of the Depths are still fine, but Deadly is a no-brainer if you have it. Next, keep your weaving nice and fast. The Merciless Charge buff lasts 18 seconds, and we're casting 18 abilities in that time, so don't dawdle. You can practice by spam weaving Sweep on the dummy and using an add-on to check your timing. You still want to hit every light attack for enchantments, Reliquien and Ultigen, but it's not as big a deal if you miss some. I went for spell power potions, so no need for degeneration. If you're not already using Solar Barrage, slot it and keep it up. Damage per cast is nice, but more than that, it buffs our class abilities by 5%. Puncturing Sweep is kinda limp on its own, especially with no CP slottables to buff it. It's the combination of Deadly, Urmage, Merciless Charge and Solar Barrage that flips the balance. Speaking of damage per cast, we get some really nice numbers with this setup. These are all max values based on critical hits, so don't take this as the average, just as a benchmark. 83k from a spammable? That's pretty respectable, and it doesn't even include Burning Light ticks. Power of the Light hits really hard, which is why it's our priority before execute. Initially, Barrage doesn't look that impressive compared to Ritual, but remember it's adding 5% to all our class abilities, including itself. That's just over 3k DPS, which means its true contribution per cast is more like 209k. And obviously that skyrockets once we start beaming. Again, these numbers came from my testing with this setup. If you change gear, CP, or drop Barrage, they will change. I hope that helps explain why this setup works the way it does, and why it comes out ahead of most other options. Now let's get into the rotation. Pre-buff with Shooting Star and Trap, Barrage, then it's 3 lots of 6 seconds, starting with Power of the Light each time. What I like least about this rotation is that we're undercasting Stampede and overcasting Ritual, but the damage loss is small, and ultimately the Merciless Charge buff is what we're interested in, and that's being recast on cooldown. Power of the Light is your opportunity for smooth bar swaps. You'll most likely lose damage takes if you try to swap during Sweep. If you absolutely need to do it because Carve is about to run out or whatever, you can either recast Trap early, it has an upfront hit so it's not a total waste, or wait until Sweep has finished channeling, then light attack into the bar swap and cast whatever you need from the back bar without weaving into it. Treat Puncturing Sweep like any other spammable, any other ability for that matter. The channel used to last just over a second, so it wasn't possible to weave at full speed, but Zos changed that a year ago, and since then it works like anything else except for the bar swap issue. But I still get questions from people about this, thinking they need to slow down or wait for the animation before casting the next ability. You don't need to do anything special, just ignore the animation and focus on firing it once a second. The 22-second duration on Barrage is a little awkward in an 18-second rotation. What I do sometimes is recast it together with Trap 1 or 2 seconds later each sequence. They're close enough, and it means you don't have to worry about a clunky bar swap when Barrage runs out. Same with Carve and Vampire's Bane. Once you've recast Carve once, they should line up every time, again making the rotation much easier to stay on top of. Execute starts at around 40%. Replace Sweep with Oppression, but keep up everything else. Oppression is close enough to a 2-second channel that you can just go at half speed. But again, it might be worth practicing on a dummy where you can just keep spamming this ability and using add-ons to measure how accurately you're judging it. Drop Power of the Light as well between 30 and 25%, depending on when it comes around. From this point on, you really want to be casting Oppression and nothing else. If the execute is short, feel free to recast your dots here and just beam your way out. If it lasts longer, then just try to keep your various plates spinning. Use Power of the Light to bar swap where needed, and try to make sure at least Stampede and Barrage are rolling right to the end. After 15%, I try to avoid casting anything but the beam. If you get this part right, and didn't make any major mistakes in the run-up to execute, your damage should be great. More than enough for any group content out there, and it's nice to have a couple of Templars in the group to speed up tricky executes. To all the viewers who asked for a Magplow video, I hope this met with your approval. If you think these videos could use more technical detail, or less, then let me hear about it, whatever makes this channel a more effective resource. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. There's more on the way, so hit subscribe, check out the mini guide and the website, follow Ninja Pulls on Twitch, and join the guild Discord if you want to nerd out with us about this game and Elder Scrolls in general. Take it easy guys, and thanks for watching.